the main questions that a lot of people are so keen on knowing is, where is this man's death certificate, as well as what is it that made everyone else think he was dead? And of course, a lot of them saying this defies science in any way possible. But of course, we know that religion and science have been going head to toe since forever. So we wouldn't want to step on people's toes. And of course, everyone is allowed to have their own opinions. Everyone's allowed to have their own beliefs. But something as bizarre as this, I mean, a lot of people also asking the question, where was he taken to after he had died? Because apparently he died in hospital. Well, he died in his alleged...
But there are no hospital records.
Exactly. We spoke to the Department of Health as well to ask them how long after a person has died do they then release the body after, of course, doing the post-mortem. And the Department of Health says they have no record of this man's death as of yesterday when we spoke to them. We also, you know, it wouldn't be fair if we didn't speak to the church. So we tried to get a comment from the pastor or from just the spokesperson of the church, but they refused to talk to us until this morning, where they seem keen to speak to us now. But until yesterday evening, no one was willing to give us an answer, because all we need to know is, can we at least have proof that this man was indeed deceased, his death certificate, his medical records to show that he was ailing in some way or the other.
And now latest reports, the undertaker saying they're going to take them to the cleaners. What have you got there?
Well, I spoke to the lady this morning, Vivian, as you saw in the package, and her argument is that her company is now being brought into disrepute. I mean, everybody thinks that they are definitely associated with this. Whatever it is that people may call it, some believe in it and some don't, and that's where the controversy lies. But if you've got a funeral parlor that distances itself from this situation, saying that they had no idea that their vehicle was to be used for this specific stunt, as a lot of people call it, they're saying that they just hired the vehicle out after the family of the alleged deceased man came forth to say they had an argument, an altercation rather, with another funeral parlor, therefore they need last minute assistance, and that's where the vehicle came into play.
You've spoken to a lot of people. Why have people been so captivated by this story?
Well, I guess, as I said, a lot of people are just shocked, because then this defies nature in every possible way. We don't know if any other person recently was woken up from the dead. And we spoke to some of the congregants. Of course, they wouldn't speak to us on camera, but it was just so interesting to know that a lot of people are saying that this is true. This really
is this from the congregants
themselves? Yes, because we parked outside the church, and on their way to...
That's not surprising, though, going by their responses from the clip that you just played us, how excited they were by this event.
Definitely, and I think a lot of them were so surprised as to why we seem reluctant
to believe.
Exactly, and some of them were getting really short-tempered now, asking us why are we questioning their beliefs. But I guess we just need to know, how is this possible? Of course, we also saw on Facebook, this alleged man has a Facebook profile that was also active quite recently. He called himself Elliot Masango on his Facebook profile. I took a look at it, and not much was said about it, just that he is from Zimbabwe and that he is someone that runs businesses of some sort. So that's exactly why we need clarity from the church. Of course, we also need to speak to the neighbors where this man stayed to find out, was this man really ill? When last did you see him? It's also very difficult to track down the supposed family as well.
So not tracking down the family. When you speak to the church members, do you get a sense that they were surprised by how far the story was able to reach? Because I'm sure they were just hoping to keep it confined to the church.
Well, I don't think they were surprised. I guess that leaves room for debate as well, Desiree, because we understand that the pastor himself uploaded the whole ceremony, the whole church service, which is 3 hours, onto his YouTube channel, and it was also broadcast live on their church channel on television. So that kind of like shows us that they wanted it out there, to get it to be seen by a lot of people. So I don't think
he wasn't banking on the unintended consequences.
Yes.
Let's go back to your conversations with the congregants. Is it a general feeling that they're happy with their pastor, or were you able to get a differing sentiment?
Not that we were able to get anyone to actually say this cannot be true.
Yeah.
Because obviously we're speaking to congregants of the man who has ensured them that this is real. And I'm sure you would also understand that a lot of people become very defensive when questioned about their beliefs. So without sounding disrespectful to them, we'd have to, we ask them very humbly and very kindly to please explain to us what causes them to believe such. The fact that, well, specifically in this incident, that a man could be woken up or resurrected rather after his death. And they assured us that their pastor has the special power and they've believed in him for years, and who are we to start questioning them as well? And do they not have the freedom to believe in whatever it is that they want to believe in?
Lopang, how do you think the story will unfold?
It's a long way from finishing, because as we know, the CRL Rights Commission is also very much involved. Yesterday when we spoke to them, they mentioned the fact that they have done all they could do to this point. They've saying that they need to implement a peer review mechanism that would allow the peers of, you see other pastors questioning these incidents.
They've been talking about this a lot, but we'll see when it comes through. Thank you so much for making the time to come through to talk to us, Lopang Alamu, who has been keeping tabs on that story. Right now we're going to Parktown, where the